Nerd could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd could rise up. It could get elevated.
Yeah, maybe we should do the intro, too.
You want to back up and redo it?
But not the whole thing, but just do welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom, where we're two 40-year-olds who nerkie pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. And if you guys would like to be a part of the community, join us, hang out. There's a link in the show notes down below for our Discord. So click on that below. Make sure you're liking and following on whatever platform you're watching or listening on. Check us out. We also stream occasionally on Twitch. You can find Chris over there under Guyver Unit 01, GUYVERUNT 01. Myself under KSIG, K_SIG. We do indie games, horror games. Been playing a little bit of Helldivers. There was some Pal World at one time, but I don't know if we ever streamed that.
No, never did. We need to go from a guild. I'm still playing that.
Yeah, I've seen. And so, yeah, check out the Discord. We do play with community members, video games, not like, fondling, but
not diddling.
Yeah.
Doodling.
Little minimum diddling happening. Okay. Unless you're choked, and then zero diddling's happening. So
look out, neighborhood cats.
So you guys come check that out, hang out, make sure, like I said, you're doing the like and follows, and tell your friends, share it around if you like it, or even if you don't, we don't care, whatever, make more people listen.
We care. We do care.
If you're new to this stuff, what we're going to do today, we're breaking down Bad Batch. We're starting with season 3, where we're doing episode 1, season 3. We've covered season 1, season 2. We're doing what we call a Nerkie, which is like was originally supposed to be a nerd quickie, but it's not. These go forever. But we take the episodes, movies, whatever it is we're checking out at the time, and we break them down scene by scene. And we had a great time with Bad Batch season 1, Bad Batch season 2. Really excited for this one because this is supposed to be the last season. Like they were going to they said 3.
This is it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 3 and done. Just like Chris. So it's going to be
giving me a lot of credit.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's been, for somebody who still hasn't watched the Clone Wars animated series, I'm sorry. Or Rebels. I'm really enjoying this though. This has been some of my favorite Star Wars because it's
just good.
It's good. And there's some stuff I noticed just in this episode. Like I said, we're a little bit behind as of time recording. They've released episode 4. We're gonna try to get caught up. We'll eventually get there. But I've enjoyed it so far, and I've liked the tone that's been set in this because it feels completely different. There's a totally different feeling that I'm getting from
Absolutely.
And, like I've got some notes on it, and then I'll talk about it as we go through it. And I know you've got your stuff too. There's 2 reasons for the tone, I think, that makes it feel different for me. I mean, I guess we can go ahead and talk about it now. Like, one is it's very dark, literally, and actually, like, I had to say, super dark. Turn up the brightness on your TV. Like, I had to go. I rewatched it right before we started recording. I'm sitting in my little man cave in here, like the windows blacked out, all the lights off, all my extra screens turned to black, so I have no other light, and I could finally see what was going on. I tried to watch it in the daytime with like a window open that wasn't even facing the TV the other day, and that didn't work at all.
On the other side of the house.
On the other side of the house, the wind was just blowing right. Yeah, it was hard to see, but man, it's a good. It's okay. I'm gonna say it's probably not the best episode they've done because it's not, but
it's very powerful though.
Such a good setup for what's going to come.
It's very. What I'm getting from season 3 so far is tones of season 1, like the darker, like when the Order 66 happened. The the bleakness, it goes there, but way past that finish line.
Yeah.
It's like when you thought Forrest Gump was going to stop running, but he kept going, and he ended up on the East Coast. It's like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Jenny got AIDS.
Yeah. And died.
It's that level of dark.
Yeah. So
Space AIDS.
Probably from Sid. Got space salmonella. That was
I got the galactic clap.
I got the galactic clap, fellas. Hey, you. Goggles, come over here and look at this. Does this look like a rash?
It's supposed to be all runny.
it's, it's lizard discharge. I'm sorry.
I'm flakier than normal. My cloaca's inflamed.
That's
Got an
for
inflamed cloaca.
do they have a medication for that?
Yeah, it's a Mantel salve.
It is Mantel salve. It's not the mix. It's
not the mix. No, you want the salve. You don't want to get the two crossed up. But yeah, this is like it's dark. The music is completely different.
Yeah.
This is probably the least Star Warsy music I've heard in a Star Wars thing. Like, I think like just as you watch that episode, and it's a major player in the episode itself, and it felt like where'd my note go? If you watch any kind of like Netflix original style show, not just Netflix, but that style of like original, and it's like a like some kind of, it's super dramatic and it's over the top and it's kind of dark. Even the show Dark, it kind of reminded me a little bit of the music from the show Dark, if you've ever seen that, like, you know, the German Stranger Things that's on Netflix. It had that feel to it. Like, it wasn't, even for like Star Wars standards, for sad music or depressing music or whatever, like, this is different. And so I think it really set a tone for it. It's just like, it's depressing. It is so depressing. It's hitting the mark.
Absolutely. I was thinking of anything I could add to that, but no, Kyle pretty much hit on the head.
Yep. That's all I'm gonna be good for the rest of the episode.
If you're looking for a feel good episode, don't watch this.
Apparently
you're looking for something wholesome. This isn't your thing.
Yeah. And apparently we've been pronouncing Omega wrong this whole time. So Omega.
Oh, yeah. Omega.
Omega.
Isn't that camera app where like once in a while you see like a clown like naked or something wanking it?
Yeah.
Omega.
Yep. It's Omega.
Yep, Omega. Okay.
Let's kick this pig. So we're starting off, and so what we're doing here, usually we're like watching this together. Not on.
Oh yeah, let's go over that real quick.
What the crap, mouse?
Disney in September, that tells you how long it's been since we've done our last Nerkie, got rid of in September 23rd, 2023, the group watch option. Didn't tell anyone.
Nope.
And here's the thing: you had to be a Disney Plus member to do group watch. That's why I'm not getting this. They're going to the whole Netflix subscription. I get you want to make a profit, but
yeah, you know, we can't. What we used to do, we would both log in to our Netflix, might as well be our Disney Plus accounts, and we would group watch the show together. I'm paying for an account, he's paying for an account. We could watch it together and like compare, and so we can do like scene by scene breakdowns. And so they're not out any money, us both watching the thing. Unless there's some like back end server cost stuff that's probably extremely minimal because you're friggin' Disney. I don't know,
but it's very inconvenient.
I don't get it.
You know,
I'm sure it wasn't widely, and it could have been it wasn't widely used, and they're just like, we're going to kill this feature that like only 2 dudes in Oklahoma are using right now.
It could be, but usually when they do that, they'll tell you. It's, you know, not, you know, you'll read articles. The articles I was reading about this earlier, because we were panicking, was that they said, oh, yeah, we reached out, like this article is like, we reached out to Disney and they just said it was the most generic answer you could get. And it didn't address anything. It was just like, we're always searching for new features to add or remove.
Yeah. You should be searching for new features to add, not to remove. If your features are being utilized, whatever.
Especially since they're going up with a price increase this month.
Yep. Yeah. So. I think that's going to.
Okay.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. We'll go. But quick recap where we are. Omega got taken by Grand Scientist Satchel.
Satchel. Yes.
Satchel, since he's just a big bag of dicks. She was taken to be with her, I guess, mom. You could consider her.
Kind of.
And
Mama say
Tech died. Namaste.
Mhm.
Namaste.
Tech died.
Tech
Allegedly.
died.
We still haven't seen the
Allegedly.
body.
No.
We did see the goggles.
And sharpshooter. We're still gonna call him that.
Mhm.
Sharpshooter was still captured.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's
There's
where
some
we're at.
there's some space dogs coming up.
Space dogs.
Yeah.
Gonna pet that space
Mhm.
dog. So okay, let's go.
All right. So is it playing? Are we going? I feel like it is. There we go. It took
Yep.
it just a second. Yeah. And so at least, what's the name of the planet they're on again? I forget. I'm gonna put it on you.
I don't remember.
So they're on
Aphrodisia.
clone slave planet.
Don't say love. Yep, that's my favorite.
Let me make my screen a little bit bigger there. And so we got a patrol coming into land on. I can't remember the name of the dang planet. That's gonna bug me.
Pause it. So we see a space shuttle or one of the shuttles coming in with stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Very specific. It is the stormtrooper helmet, not the classic one we're used to because it doesn't have the same eyes. It's the ones that look like the sunglasses. So the early days, like the ones in Rebels.
Storm bras.
Storm bras. Yeah. Eyebrows. They're the bros because they're all dudes.
Yeah.
But then we also see the people at the base. It's not your typical, it's not your clone uniform. It's the ones like we saw in the Death Star.
Yeah, the
with
pistachio helmets.
Yeah. What'd you call them?
Pistachio helmets.
Oh, they do look like a pistachio. A burnt pistachio.
Yeah. The ones at the bottom of the bag.
It was roasted. But yeah, it looks like the pistachio helmet. And the little gray uniforms that we're used to seeing.
So we're seeing more and more Empire stuff.
Empire, yeah.
Yeah. Coming out with it. Boop-a-doo. And so they're coming through. There's a lot of lightning and stuff in these episodes. Like anytime anybody's going to land, they never land under good conditions.
Do you think that's foreshadowing for the Emperor's lightning?
Maybe. Could be. I mean, it's very lightning-y.
Yeah.
We see the patrol. They weren't really patrol. It's just a squad coming in.
Transport shuttle, yeah.
Yep, and they crash land.
Because they got hit by lightning.
And this planet it reminds me of, well, I mean, it's just a forested planet.
Indoor.
And so they're going by the TK designation now. So no more CT. That's all gone. These are, like we said, they're the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're talking about stuff in the woods, like bad
snipe hunting.
Basically, yeah, they're stormtrooper snipe hunting. And they're talking about like basically creatures in the woods. They crash. They're on comms, and we see Dr. Hemlock, our resident Dick doctor, not a doctor,
Dick doctor,
Satchel, or Dr. Dick, yeah, Satchel Man,
Captain Satchel.
And they can hear like roars and stuff over the comms because this troop is like stranded in the woods in a lightning storm, with creatures out there, and they're asking Hemlock, who's over all of this, if they should send a recovery team. He's like, nah,
they're good.
Costly. They're good. They'll figure it out. And,
he's such a dick.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they're past the perimeter, so this is kind of staying like where they're at because this base is up on a mountain.
It is important to note, though, too, he's still guarding the base with the clone commandos.
Yes. Yeah, they're still utilizing what they got. I mean, that's the whole point of this base. They're trying to recreate the clones.
So, next thing we know, we see this water dripping. Why is this important? Can you pause it?
Yep.
Why is this important? I don't know, but throughout this episode, it keeps going to the sink with the water dripping. My guess is to like kind of like a symbolic of depression, I'm guessing, or like hopelessness. Like you just see that water dripping because you can't call someone maintenance to come fix it because they don't care. What is very, very important to note here, we're already, a minute, 2 minutes into this episode. this is vastly different than the start of season 2.
Yes.
If you remember, start of season 2, they were on that bright island planet, running through. They had bright uniforms. That, if I remember, Kyle pointed that out last time.
Mhm.
The uniforms were brighter, bright colors. This episode, dark, dark, dark.
Very dark.
And the only light that we're really seeing right now has been from inside the control room, and now Omegas is, this will make sense later why we called her that. She's looking out, and you know it's light out there, but
It's a gorgeous planet.
She's trapped.
But yeah,
She's a prisoner.
Sees all the beauty that she cannot reach.
Like me.
I just can't touch it.
Touching, holding hands.
Touching you.
In comes Wrecker. Touching me.
Hey, Caroline.
Sweet Gronky.
So yeah,
Okay.
she's just stuck in her little prison cell.
It sucks.
I mean, that's what we're talking. Like, this is just such a sad, depressing episode for Omega, for Sharpshooter Crosshair.
I think she's a. You think she's a teen at this point? I think she is.
She's very angsty. So, I mean,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's a teen at this point.
yeah, because she ages way slower. I guess everybody else ages faster, so she's aging at normal pace.
Her and Boba.
Yeah, yeah, they age at normal pace.
And then,
yeah, go ahead.
In comes, what was her name?
That's Emery.
Emery.
Not
Emery.
Emily. Emery.
Emery. If you remember from the big reveal of last season,
Yep.
Emery is also a clone.
It's
a
her
female
sister.
clone. Her sister. We thought that, you know, Omega was the only female clone. No, apparently not. We still don't know who made the Emerys, though.
No,
We don't know
because
if they're in Camino or the Empire.
they were. I don't think they were made on Camino.
You think they were made on this planet? Or
Possibly
one of Hemlock's planets?
I think this one of Hemlock's doings, and I think their aging is even probably more accelerated than the other clones. This is my theory, my guess, and maybe it gets revealed later. I don't know because I haven't watched far enough yet. I feel like Hemlock made them somehow, and just they're off a little bit, so they're highly accelerated. So, you know, where the batch is on, those guys aren't. You know, you look at their age versus Omega, it's about half, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yeah, something
And
like
so
that.
I'm thinking Emery may even be younger than the clones.
Do you think that the Emerys...
Well, she would have to be younger than most of the clones, but still, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the Emerys are made from extracts of tech? Because they're smart, scientific. Look at the glasses.
Well, they were around before tech went away.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, but they had all their genetic samples.
Oh, okay.
Camino did. You know what I mean?
Could be. Maybe maybe she has bad eyesight. Like that was a...
I think maybe, you know, it was like not the same batch, but like they took
Oh,
the
okay. Yeah, I see what
genetic
you're saying. Yeah. Possibly.
I don't know.
So that would make
probably
her
not right, but
technically a flawed clone then.
Mhm.
Not because she's female. Nobody jump on me for that one. But because somebody would reach. Yeah, he would have called me out on that one just to stir the pot.
He's going to call you out on that one.
Okay. All
right.
Let's carry on.
So Emery says, "What are you doing, Omega? It's safer here than it is out there." She's like, "Come, we have much work to do."
Well, that was Omega basically saying, you know, I'm a prisoner. She's like, "You're not a prisoner." And like, it kind of looks like a prison cell.
Yep.
You got a slab for a bed and a little bitty window in her lunch pail.
Yeah, she's got a little lunch pail that she carries around.
Yeah, that's the saddest looking lunch pail ever.
It really is. There's no stickers on it or anything.
Yep.
And look, there's Karen Emery.
Yep.
Their little
Emery,
bun.
Emery number 2.
Emery
Was
2.
she also an Emery? Yeah, they're all Emerys. Okay.
Yeah, they're all Emerys.
So, how do we know which Emery she's talking to? This is where I'm going to get confused. Like they all, like they're straight up clones. Like they're copy and pastes for the most part.
Well, and it makes you wonder why they gave her the name Emery, or if that's like Emory you know, like that's their designation, like the CTs, like it stands for something. Because like Hemlock doesn't believe that clones are people. Clones are food. They're
Yeah.
not fish. Um, and I'm wondering, just what's her name? Emery.
Well, okay, here I'm on it. I'm on it. Emery name meaning. Da, 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 da. I found it somewhere. It said it was hope and meant home, home strength. Emery represents home strength. Huh?
Like Homestar Runner.
Maybe
It
it's
means home strength. I like our theories better.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, throw out the. Is that the official, or is that someone's?
It's just there's a gajillion baby name websites. You know, when you get out there that British origin, originally used in Old English, meaning faith and sweet. Uses a first name meaning home strength, can also mean industrious. Variant of Emery. Saint Emmerich. Represents bravery, valiance, in challenging times. Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever you want to take out of baby name meanings, because they all end up sounding awesome when they really throw all that stuff on there. So yeah. So they're marching away down the hall, and then
Oh, too far! Too far!
I clicked the wrong thing.
Abort!
There we go. I'm not used to these controls.
No.
And so they're heading down the hallway.
Come, Omega.
They pass all the other Omega. She calls her Omega.
Omega.
That's so maybe that's her flaws. She just can't pronounce her. That's like they all have their flaws, and her two is like her eyesight, and she can't pronounce Omega correctly.
Omega.
Omega. And so they're walking down the hall, and we see more Emerys and some troopers, some floaty droids. That would be that's a medic droid, I think. And then we see Crosshair, sharpshooter. Whatever.
And he won't look up. Like all these clones are hunched over. If you remember, the clones always walk up straight.
Yeah.
These clones are hunched over.
They're sad and defeated. Literally, like they are.
And tortured.
And tortured.
And then next thing we know that Emery's taking some sort of sample from one of the clones' wrist or back of his hand.
Yeah.
And somehow drew a whole vial of blood that way.
They're very, very efficient.
How the hell did you get that much blood from the back of the hand?
They're built different, maybe.
Yeah. I'm a different kind of cow. Meh.
Okay, I see different Emerys with different hairstyles now, so maybe that helps. Okay. They got a little bit of individuality.
This one, okay, this is important to note too for later episodes. This Emery has a ponytail.
Okay. So we know which Emery we're looking at.
Just remember ponytail, and you'll see it in I can't remember if it's episode 3 or not.
Okay, I'll see it. I'll eventually see it. So
we also don't know what the time frame is from last season to here, as far as I know.
I'm thinking it's fairly recent.
I think it's been months.
Within months. Yeah, if even that much.
I'm going to look it up. You go.
And so Emery's explained to Omega that like they're taking these blood samples, they're used in a lot of different research projects. They're standing in front of their space Jarvis terminal there to look at things. And she tells Omega, like, hey, we need a sample from you. It's not going to hurt. It's a little poke. And then this where the important part is where Omega asks, if you're a clone, how come I didn't see you on Camino like me?
Okay. Episode 16, Plane 99 occurred in 18 BBY. So they're assuming, I guess they haven't actually said, they're assuming that it's either late 18 BBY. So it could be months.
Yeah.
Or early 17 BBY, keeping it within the dark times of the Empire. So within a year.
Within a year. Well, this is where we get a little bit of that backstory, like where was she at? And Emery's telling her she was sent elsewhere until Hemlock took her under her wing. So I wonder if all these Emerys were made. Okay, this is an alternate theory here. All these Emerys were made on Camino, trying to make Omega. Hair's different, but whatever. And they all got sent off, or these are what we need, and Hemlock's like, I'll take them. I'll buy all your women, and that take that for however you want to.
Here, I give you 4 goats. They're all cloned, and they shoot lightning out of their buttholes, like in Goat Simulator 3.
Like strong could pull plow.
Just like wife.
Yeah. Very nice.
Very nice.
We got
Emery, #1 prostitute on Camino.
Oh, we need a space Borat now.
Oh God! Oh, that would be great with a
Just
space
randomly
Borat.
shows up. So we see she tells her that Hemlock took him took her under his wing because he saw potential in her, and so
Namaste.
Yeah, namaste. So she's relating to Omega. Omega's like, it's nice to know I have a sister, which that doesn't really, I mean, that's not going to hit with Emery because she's got a bunch of sisters wandering around.
Sister wives.
Yeah. Ooh. That's what it is.
Oh, he's got a harem. This is a harem man made.
Yeah. Hemlock's harem.
Hemlock's harem. He's like, you, Emery, 2. Now.
I'm scared where you're going with this.
No, I can't finish it. Just like Hemlock.
Just like Hemlock. Oh, okay. So she swirls the little tube around. So she's got her blood sample.
Just like Hemlock.
Just like
Hemlock. Swirling his little tube around.
Swirling his little tube around. So she makes all her little entries in her space iPad and sends Omega on her way.
Onto a space adventure.
Yep. Omega's got the sample. Did she have the sample? Yeah, she's got the rack of samples. So she's child labor at this point. And really, Hemlock doesn't have enough control over what's going on. Because I think that Emery knew what she was doing here.
Yep, I do too.
So she sends her with her blood sample, which we know that, they're trying to make force sensitive clones. That's what it is. It has to be. And excuse me. Pick up, I'm yawning. Pick it up.
Well, and that was our theory from last season too, was that Omega's force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys, I don't remember where we said that a couple times.
We've been saying that since the beginning, that
she's force sensitive, and that's why she has those immediate attachments, or the animals like her.
Mm-hmm.
They always take a liking to her. She can. It's not that she can manipulate people's minds, but she's just an annoying teenager on that
also
aspect.
That.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, there's no other reason why the Empire would want to do anything with, because they're going away from clones. This is the transition.
Mm-hmm.
This is we know the end goal. And so why would you want to keep trying to make clones unless they were going to be special clones? And so that's the only thing that makes sense of why they're continuing the program.
Yeah, no, it's true. Omega goes up to Namaste, Namasa, Namusa.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, thank Heehee. They're scanning the vials, and when she clicks on them, it shows who it came from, and one's Omega's. And she asks, Omega, was your sample taken? She's like, Emery said it's routine. Sure, just because Emery said it.
Honestly, it seems like way more disconnected than normal. Yeah. Like even further out there. Like they're always very monotone, or she always has been. But she trashes the sample.
It's this little. Seems like that thing didn't have childproof guards. Like Omega's gonna come out missing some fingers. She puts it right below this machine and it incinerates it.
Yep.
And she's like, "Do not tell anyone."
Yeah, our secret.
You will be in great danger. She puts it in this weird it's not like a centrifuge, but it is in a circle and it moves.
It's
But each
centrifuge
time
like.
yeah, every time it moves, it like adds in like more blood or water or something.
There's this line. So Omega's asking about, well, why is all this happening? He says the Empire is seeking the reproduction of a genetic M count.
M count stands for
I don't want to say it.
midichlorians. So, yep, we knew. I mean, why? What else? Which is weird because, well, no, they're not trying to reproduce Jedi. They would try. My guess is more Sith. But even though there can only be two, but like the like the Ventress, the fifth brother, the third sister,
Twice removed.
the Inquisitors, yeah, twice removed. So okay.
Yeah, this I saw, seeing the M count, I was like, man, we're gonna hear about it again. I'm just not a fan of that. But
If your
whatever.
M count's too low, see a doctor.
Yeah. Get your MRT, your midichlorian replacement therapy going. You can
It's
get
a
the
little
cream,
blue pill.
you get the pellets, and you take a shot.
It's a little blue suppository.
So yeah, here she is confirming what we thought. But she's saying that the experiments have not yet yielded the desired result because they're trying off of just like normal clones. Or well, actually, no, they're not. That line where she says, "You mean from the Omega?" Asked her, like they're trying to what specimens you mean from the clones, and she says, "No, not the clones." And then we stop. So there's our moment of mystery.
I'm wondering if do you think this is like a Marvel Zombies thing where they have the bodies of the Jedi that they've killed? Because so in the lore, the Empire did store. Well, we did see it in Obi-Wan also.
Mhm.
The Empire did store the bodies of the dead Jedi, and it almost looked like a trophy room.
Yeah,
They were like stuffed, so they're bad taxidermy.
yeah.
Bad Jedi taxidermy. Um, so you think it could be like they're trying to find because midichlorians are in all living things. The Force can do mysterious things. You think that it could reanimate a body?
I mean, maybe.
The Force?
We see Force ghosts,
Force
spirits,
Force Gump.
Force gumps. I think maybe he's pulling some from the Emery's.
Oh, yeah.
Could be. And so maybe that's the factor in all this to have a Force sensitive high M count. I hate saying that. Clone is gotta be female. Maybe that's what they're trying. Who
Maybe.
knows?
Who knows? Okay.
We'll find out.
Hemlock says, I'm sure Omega's presence here will only strengthen your efforts. She's the carrot. Omega is the carrot.
Yep.
He's like, shall we head to the vault? He's like, it's your turn, wife number 4.
So the vault, that may be the Jedi storage room.
Mm-hmm.
The cold storage.
The deep freeze.
Yep.
Where they buy a whole side of Jedi and keep it for the year.
It's just their Jedi walk-in.
Jedi walk-in. It's like,
For all the Emerys go to hide the smoke, like on their breaks, because they
Space Gordon Ramsay comes in and goes, "You donkeys! Where's the label? When did this go in?
You call this a Jedi sandwich?
It's got blood dripping all over this." Donkeys, a Jedi sandwich. What are you? I'm a Force idiot.
I'm a Force idiot. All right, so we got Hemlock making
Going
his
to the
ominous
vault.
walk.
And there is probably 20 clone commandos there.
Mm-hmm.
And the little
Little Mission Impossible lasers.
I was gonna say the Resident Evil ones.
Or that. Screw that. No.
They walk in and yeah. Next thing we see Omega down with a droid. And where all the Lurka hounds are. Lurka hounds, if you remember, are like the ones we've seen. I believe we saw those in a couple of the Star Wars movies. We've definitely seen them elsewhere in the shows,
Yeah.
but they look kind of like they're the stocky ones with like the crests that look. They almost look like those pterodactyls you see with the crests, the big on top of their head,
Yeah.
except with gigantic teeth.
Yeah, and they don't
fangs,
fly.
And they don't fly.
Yeah,
And
so
they're
they're down.
stocky.
They're down their little Lurka Hound stables.
Lurka.
Lurka.
Lurka,
Oh,
Lurka
whoop,
stand.
nope, never mind. I almost went. And so here Omega's like gathering straw.
From under what originally looks like she's keeping her turds in the top layer of that.
Yeah.
But I think it's beef jerky.
Is it? I don't know. That's some pretty thick jerky.
I don't think they're feeding her healthy enough where she's big enough to make a poop.
Probably not. And so she goes over to one of the Lurka Hounds that she's obviously befriended.
And she's named
Batcher.
Batcher.
Yep. So she gives Batcher some chicken nuggies here.
And
What it looks like.
Yep. Of the turds. And then Batcher goes to attack her.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that's a bad Batcher?
That's becoming a better Batcher.
Oh, better Batcher. Not a bad Batcher.
Not a bad Batcher. No, it's not a bad Batcher. Oh my God.
She eats the chicken nuggies.
Yeah. She was just grouchy.
And she's foaming at the mouth too. That's important to note.
At this point, this episode turned into basically every movie where, like, hold on, I made a note of it. Now this episode has now turned into the girl rescues a horse episode.
Oh, it is.
It is. It's 100%.
God, she needs to ride Batcher and be like, yeah. And then her horse needs to die in the swamp.
Batcher, Lurka Hound of the. I'm thinking, what was it? Spirit Stallion of the whatever. Yeah, it's basically this is kind of turning into.
What was it? Stallion of the Cimarrons.
Yeah, yeah.
Batcher,
get off of my
the
back and into my.
Oh, we could go on and on with these jokes. Okay, let's go.
I mean, that's what this like. I mean, we've seen the whole thing now, so we kind of know. But that's what it is. Like,
yeah, it really is.
Angsty teenage girl moves to the country, befriends local horse.
Moving to the country, gonna meet a lot of Batchers.
God dang it.
Moving to the country, gonna meet a lot of Batchers.
Batchers
come from a lab.
Stop.
They were put there by her dad.
Oh. I don't even know anymore.
I run from Lurkers every day. Omega was stealing hay.
I thought it was straw. But you made it rhyme.
Straw, but I had to rhyme.
But that's what it is. It's like moves to the,
It really
like,
is.
Like I just don't like. I'm so angry at everything. Well, look at this new animal friend you have. And then they form a bond.
Because of course they did. Okay.
Sorry, I had a sneezing fit. The friggin' Bradford pear.
Well, it's Bradford pears. And did you see what else it is?
Ugh.
And I completely blame Jethro and Loki for this one.
Okay.
It's this. What'd she tell me? What Lily tell me? I think the cedar trees.
Everything sucks right now.
Like one of the stations in Oklahoma City was showing, I guess, one of the trees there, and then all of a sudden it exploded in like all this yellow.
Oh, the yellow pollen.
See. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's blowing up this way.
Great. That's what I needed.
Yep. Oh, and we also why I felt like crap last week was because we went down 50 degrees in 3 hours.
Yeah, that big temperature drop. That sucked.
Yeah.
Right. For you guys that don't know, we're in Oklahoma and the pollen sucks.
Everything sucks.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we got a little sad Batcher. We got more sad clones walking around. We can't hear the music right now, but man, I'm telling you, like,
it's
that dark. Music sets it for this.
Mm-hmm. It's not like Jeopardy music.
Mm-mm. And so we've got Omega walking the halls. She's peeking in all the little cells. And, see multiple clone troopers that are just defeated, like mentally defeated. They're hunched
One's-
over, they're in the fetal position, they're curled
One
up.
was sleeping and he was like having nightmares. He was twitching.
Yeah. And then she finds Crosshair.
She's like, I could try to come earlier, but too many guards watching me. And he just sighs. He's like, you shouldn't be down here at all. She's like, well, how are we going to plan an escape? He's like, there is no we. Are you French?
So yeah, this we.
Oui. You're not French. Do you have a mouse in the pocket?
Well, you can tell, like, this isn't the first time they've talked about this.
No.
And so that also leads us to know it's not like she's like, oh my God, it's Crosshair. She's like, okay, listen, Baldy, it's time for us to try to get out of here. And so they've had this conversation more than once, you can tell, about wanting to escape. He's telling her he's tried. She's like, well, we got to escape together. And telling like everything has a weak point. Every stronghold has a weak point, and then maybe she can convince Emery to help. And this is, I think, a very good foreshadowing line.
Right.
Like I said, I haven't watched ahead. I've only watched this episode, but I've seen a lot of things that just scream foreshadowing.
Right. But not every clone is your ally. And if you have, what's that called? Trophophobia? Don't pause
fear
it
of
on this
holes?
scene. Yeah. Don't pause it on this scene because you see all the holes and Woodchuck's head there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's very pitted. A really bad case of clone
It looks
acne.
like a lotus pod.
It looks terrible.
Not good.
Hmm.
See a doctor. Not Emery.
So he's telling her that she trusts way too easy, and she's like, well, maybe you don't trust enough.
And he's shaking.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
got space Parkinson's.
he does. Well, he's got his, his PTSD. She sees his hands. She's concerned about him, and he's telling her just go. So he's doing the tough guy thing. Like, you need to go on your own. I'm no good. He knows he messed up. He's remorseful. Right here, he's obviously showing in his own way his remorse for the actions that he took. After seeing what happened. And he's trying to push her away because he's seen everybody that he loves and cares for fall to their death or to the wayside because of his actions.
Yep.
And we'll get to that line at the end of the episode, which I think is more foreshadowing and really kind of pulls the whole thing together. I got it noted up here. But I'm telling you, before you make it worse for the both of us. So she's still hopeful that she can escape with him. That's her plan. I'm going to get you out of here.
Say it in French.
Mm-hmm. Escape. And, I really feel like this whole season is going to come down to Crosshair's redemption story, honestly. That's my feeling on it.
I'm still holding out. We're going to see Tech.
Maybe, part of me wants to, because he was one of my, they're all, there's the water dripping again. They're all great characters. But then I feel like if he just he comes back and like, hey guys, I'm still alive. And I feel like that would cheapen the ending of season 2 in a way.
Okay. So I was talking to B-Rob about this. My theory, he asked me, do you think, I know you've talked about this before, do you think they're all going to die at the end? I said, my theory is I'm still holding on. They're all going to die. All the batch. Because we don't hear from them later. They haven't retconned it like they did with Rex. And I think Omega will be the one to live. If I remember right, I think B-Rob thinks that Omega is the one who's going to die.
Oh, really?
Yep. I think the batch is going to die and Omega's going to live. That's just my call.
You know what? Okay, since we've covered those two, because those are either all the dudes are going to die, she's going to live, she's going to die. What's less going to live? Everybody's going to die by Crosshair.
Do you think we'll see Sid again this season?
And Emery. What?
You think we'll see Sid?
Oh yeah.
I think she's gonna. I don't know.
I don't think we're going to see a lot of her time wise, but I think there's something that's going to.
I don't think there's going to be a redemption of her though, because she's business. They paid her.
Yeah, I think she's going to get what's coming to her. Yeah, because I don't think you can have everybody get redeemed. I don't think you can get Crosshair redeemed and Sid redeemed. And Tech come back, and I like it when certain shows and stuff get a good happy ending. Like, this is what I was wanting for, but this is not a happy show.
No, no, it's
And
not.
and it's gonna suck. And I think they're gonna kind of carry this theme of non-happy endings that's been slowly becoming more popular in TV shows and media and stuff, thanks Game of Thrones. We're just like, you know what? You're gonna get killed off. People are gonna die. This is just like we're not telling a happy ending story. They can't all be happy ending stories, especially in this time frame. Because there's not a happy ending that's going to happen in this time frame. We're not going to see anything good happen for several more years.
No, not at all. Not at
And
all.
so, I mean, I think this just has to. It can't have a happy ending or a super happy ending where everybody comes out great, and then lead into all the crap that's going to happen after.
You get too many happy endings, the police will investigate you. Not that I know from experience.
Guyver's House of Massage. So,
Massage.
massage. Do you want the stone massage or you want me to just get the rocks off? What do you want? All right, so
I want the stones.
so she's carving. Now this will give us a little bit of insight. And so she's carving into the wall, Dufresne style, of how long she's been there.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
We got 5, 10, 15, 20. She's in
another mark or two over there
maybe,
too, I think.
Maybe 27, or maybe there's 30. Hold on, let me go back like 10 seconds here so we can see it better. So she's marking how many days she's been. I'm going to assume how many days she's been in there. I'm trying to get a good look at
But
it.
I'm wondering if she did it since day one, though, too.
Probably not.
You know what I
We got
mean?
5, 10, 20, 15. There's
16
15
days.
I can see. Okay, now there we go. Better. 5, 10, 15, 22, 23.
21, 22, 20. That looks like extra marks over there, doesn't it? It's hard to tell because the wall's also textured.
Yeah, well, the wall's textured and then there's a shadow. And so she's been in there at least.
We'll say almost a month.
Yeah.
Close to
From
a
the
month.
marks, at least like 22. We're not going to assume she did day one. So a month minimum.
Because she's a preteen.
Mm-hmm.
Look, she's eating those turds.
Yep, getting her little turd lunch out.
Which you're supposed to eat at lunch, Omega.
And she pulls the straw out. And what's she doing, Chris?
She made a dolly.
She did.
And what's the doll look like?
Her, I can't remember what that thing's called.
I can't remember, but it's the little
something cat.
The
right?
loft cat doll.
Yeah, it's pretty close to it. Got little pigtails for ears. Okay, now we can see it better. 5, 10, 15, 21.
The 21 days. Still close to a month.
Minimum 21 days. Yeah, we just weren't patient enough to be able to count the marks. So she's got 21 marks on the wall. Been there at least 21 days, likely more. So we'll say she's probably been there a month.
And this is where you remember she's still a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's
You trying to say she can't count or has no concept?
I'm trying
of
to
time?
say that why she made the dolly. It's her only friend.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Like, God, Chof is going to rip you a new one.
He's welcome to try. What just happened? Did you hit something? Okay, there we go.
Didn't mean to. It's like I turned
the
my
screen
head.
just went blank for a sec. So again, we're doing this through a different method
Mm-hmm.
than our normal
it back
Zoom.
a little bit. Okay, so they were. It's going back to the centrifuge is what it's looking at. They're passing around the samples.
It's like those TV shows that where it shows when they're in that dire situation, it shows everything, just the click. It'll show like clocks ticking, that's what this reminded me of.
What? Here's something I didn't catch till just now. That centrifuge, when it's moving, you see what it's doing? Like usually the centrifuge is going to spin and you're separating.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
This one's adding.
This one's adding.
Yeah, remember I said at the beginning, it's adding blood or water or something?
Yeah, so, okay, never mind then. Whatever.
La, la, la.
So we're back to the dripping water. I wonder if that's a reoccurring thing.
Like I said, I think it's supposed to symbolize just the bleakness of the situation.
Yeah.
And Omega is sleeping with her loft straw dolly.
Mm-hmm. Her straw cat. And
There's
every time she looks
chirping.
out, it's nice out there. It's a little cloudy today. Oh, whoa, wait a minute.
Yep. Okay, hold on. So we look, right?
6,
I think that when she's looking out like that, that's supposed to represent hope. It's the so two things, hope and light side. She's in the
Could be.
dark side right now, in the middle of the dark side. Not necessarily her, but like her feelings. She's getting depressed. She's getting hopelessness.
Mhm.
But she's looking out, and there's the light side. You're still seeing hope.
Well, my wait a minute was for something completely different. Look on the left side of the screen where we're paused at.
Yeah, how many days it is now?
Yeah, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150 days. So we've had a time lapse. I think her hair's longer too.
It is. Look at what's in the back.
Oh, she got a little ponytail. Yep, her hair's definitely longer. She's got a ponytail. She's been there for 150 days.
And who else has that ponytail?
Chof.
Chof. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
On his front part.
Yeah. So now I didn't catch that the other two times I've watched this. Well, the ponytail or the time change.
I noticed the ponytail. I can't remember if I noticed the time change or not. I'll just say no.
No. And she looks slightly, to me, she appears slightly different in the face and all that.
A little
Maybe
older.
Maybe it's just the hairstyle. And so the normal passage of time when they're passing each other in the halls, taking the samples.
Well, look how her hair is now too, up front. And then
Yeah.
look at Emery's.
So she's mimicking her.
I mean, that's how her hair was at first, but it looks just, I think it's with the ponytail. It just makes her look even more like her now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and we've said that before too. She takes on traits of people that she spends time with.
She's a clone chameleon.
Mm-hmm. She tries to clone herself after them.
She does. And then same thing every day. Namaste throws out her sample.
Mm-hmm. Same thing every day. So she said,
if I was going to a sample clinic and found out that they threw out all my hard work every day, I'd get pissed.
As one should.
Unless I'm getting paid for it. She's back down with Batcher feeding. No, that's not Batcher. That's just another one of the. What were they called? Not lurchers.
Lurka hound.
Lurkas, yeah. One of them's kind of friendly because it feeds. Then she goes down to Batcher, and Batcher has this huge gash on her right front leg.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, K9X1, hurry. And he's like, what is the issue? This thing has the longest arms ever.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have a name. It's a designation. She's like, she's sustained wounds while out on patrol.
She's hurt.
Scheduled for, what did he say?
Termination.
Termination.
Yeah.
Because she's flawed. And the Empire does not accept flaws.
Mm.
What is that? Who?
Yeah,
what does that sound like?
What's that?
What does that sound like in history?
The Empire does not accept flaws?
Like the Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they're.
I mean, that's what they're modeled off of.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like the droid's response. She's like, you got to help. And he's like, I am not a medical droid. Like, not my job, lady. Not my job.
Not my circuit.
Or
is it all my circuits?
All the circuits. He's like, it's not part of my programming.
Where's Calculon?
Not my monkey, not my circus.
Not my circus. Not my circuit board.
So now she knows she's going to have to take it on herself to save Batcher. She finds a little med kit that's on the wall, which the robot could have got.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The robot's just a dick.
So that's a really odd looking swab thing.
She gets the biggest COVID swab ever out.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes to touch Batcher, and Batcher kind of didn't just snarl, didn't try and bite. She's like, I'm just trying to clean your wound. Here's where the force sensitivity comes into play. She's calming the animal.
Yeah.
Well, this big open wound, I'm sure this has got a sting.
Yep. Yeah, this is the I said going on to the girl saves the horse thing. And there is a really big movie trope that happens later. I gotta make sure I don't miss that. And so she's talking to Crosshair, telling her that, you know, she dressed the wound. She didn't that Batcher didn't bite her, and she's like, that's progress. And explained to him, like, if Batcher doesn't get better, they're going to kill her. And she's going through all these plans of like how she's going to save Batcher, what she's going to do to save Batcher. And Crosshair's being oddly the voice of reason, seriously, in this situation of, you know, what's your primary objective? What are you trying to do? And she says, escape. And she goes in, and he tells her to stop wasting time on lost causes. I think he's got a little double meaning there. Stop wasting your time on Batcher. Stop wasting your time on me. You know, forget the hound, forget me, complete the mission.
Well, that's exactly like you said. It's,
yeah, I got ahead of myself by like one line there.
Yeah, he's trying to warn her away.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to shoo her away.
So on some level, he still cares.
Yeah.
Still the older brother thing.
So what he's telling her here, okay, well, we'll get to it when he gets to it. He tells her, like, if I had a chance to escape, I wouldn't think twice about leaving you. And she's like, no, you wouldn't. You're my brother. And he's trying to tell her, like, I'm not like them.
I don't want your life.
I don't want your life. And she tells him, she's like, I'm not going to give up on you. I'm not leaving you. And he just kind of
never quit you.
I'll never quit you. Yeah. That was us last night playing Helldivers. We got stuck on a hill. Like, I'll never quit you. I'll tell you about it later. But yeah.
He goes, Omega, don't risk anything for me. This is the first, like, I belong in here. The first tenderness and remorse I think I've seen from Crosshair.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and there's part of it, too. He wants her to escape. And like you said, what you just said, I belong in here. He is feeling like he's having to pay for what he did. And this is his punishment.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to take it. There you go. That's what I think that's part of it. Like, he knows that him trying to escape or her trying to help him escape is going to complicate the plan.
Yep.
But also he feels like this, I deserve what I'm getting right now. I need to take this.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So we got her back in the cell again. Okay. So I see if there's any more added, but it doesn't appear to be. Actually, it looks like there's a row taken away. Are we time jumping oddly? Because there were only 5 rows there at that time. There were 6 before.
I think it is time jumping. And we know how I feel about time jumping.
Mm-hmm. Bad on the ankles.
Extremely bad. Terrible.
So
terrible.
Back to the centrifuge again. Still doing the same thing. Yeah, I think we're getting some weird time shifts. We're seeing things at different points here. Off and on. But now we're back to what I guess we're going to assume is the most present time. And she's getting her room checked. I keep looking at the wall.
To see if you see anything. I did too.
Well, it seems like they left a row.
This
That's
is like
so weird.
Orange.
There were 6 rows earlier.
Or clone is the new black.
Yeah. And so Emery's going to take her little straw doll and telling her that we've been over this before. No personal items. They're forbidden. Or bother dispose of it. Or she's going to dispose of it. And Omega like begs, like, please don't. Like, this is all I got. Not my dolly. Emery scolds her, tells her, come on, we got work to do. She grabs her little lunch pail, and they head out the door. The look on Emery's face was a little different there. Like, it didn't look like she was disappointed, but she was extra serious. Like, she's formulating stuff in her brain.
Hemlock's walking through. They're back, and they just came out of the vault, didn't they?
Yep, they've been in there for 90 days, according to the time lapse.
That's a lot of you know what.
Mm-hmm.
I will give Hemlock props for that. I guess he is a doctor. He can prescribe himself his own stuff.
Yeah, a lot of M count transfers happening in there.
A lot of M count transfers.
Mm-hmm. And so, she's saying that, the Emperor should be pleased. Another successful transfer. And Hemlock's telling her not when the M count was severely diminished. And so, you see, if we do not match or exceed the specimen's original count, it's a failure. What's the specimen? That's the thing.
You sounded like Frau Forbisna.
Tell me the specimen.
Where's the specimen?
But yeah, so that's whatever's in the vault for sure.
Look. Where you paused it? That's the same expression she makes when Hemlock pulls his pants down. He's like, "Oh,
Oh,
that's it. Not
That's-
very impressive, Doctor.
your M count is low.
Your M count is so low.
Just cold on this planet. Okay.
Tis but a flesh wound."
And so he's telling her, if you can't produce the desired results, we'll have to reconsider the freedoms I've given to your young assistant. So he's playing everybody against each other.
Yep.
And he's telling like, I hate to think that you're intentionally delaying the advancement. And she's still playing the angle, don't question my loyalty to science. They're like, I'm a
Look at how
scientist.
not amused she looks.
Yeah. Oh, like,
Oh.
you think I'm really going to be better?
Look, she said, "I got a tattoo. Wanna see?"
Oh yeah, she looks hammered.
Yeah, got a tattoo.
And so she's playing it pretty well. Like, don't question my loyalty to science. I'm here for the process, not for any emotional attachments.
Yep.
And he says, we shall soon see if the emperor is as understanding as I am. So now she's like, oh,
On this fully operational battle station.
Is it though? It's mostly operational. Not very well defended.
Nope.
Okay, so we're back in the stables. The Lurker Hounds are doing their thing, and Omega goes to check on Batcher, who is obviously doing better. Wounds healed, very happy, almost 100%. And then the robot comes to crash the party, the droid.
Yeah. So did you not read the standing orders for the day? LH 201 has been slated for termination.
Mm-hmm. And of course she's like, oh, she's telling telling the droid she's healed, and the droid obviously has extra information.
Yep.
Like, here's some handy information for later. Its recent domesticated disposition has been deemed a liability
because she made friends with it.
Yeah. And so Omega's trying to, like, that's my fault. That's not hers. Don't kill her. Oh no, it's the consequences of my actions. It's the theme of this whole episode. Consequences of actions.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And so she's fighting with the droid because, of course, she's going to win that. Somehow she did. She got the data pad away. Droid's throwing out a security alert. Comes out with a little zappy stick. He does have really long arms, or it does.
I told you, yeah. Zappy.
Yep. And so she happens just to find the right button to drop a cage on the droid and get the stun baton.
Cage.
Gives him a little zap before he starts calling security. And now we're on to some more escape. I feel like this is a very heavily foreshadowed scene.
I do too.
A scene with heavy foreshadowing. So now we're going to have a huge movie trope. She opens the gate. She's like, you need to run away and not come back. This is the,
go on, Yeller.
Yeah,
go on.
The shoe the dog trope. Like, and I was looking it up before we.
Old Yeller.
We got to this. Yeah, go on now. Get. Well, anytime like they're the animal friend is in danger or they're better off out on their own, like, you've got to leave. Don't come back. And throwing rocks at it to get it to run away or whatever. You've seen it in so many movies and stuff where she's trying to telling the animal to go on. It doesn't want to leave. Go be free, spirit. Run in the wild.
Free Willy.
Free will. Yeah. Like, it's been done to death. And so they used it here. It works. And then Hemlock just happens to show up down here after the security alert and tells her, so you're breaking the rules, releasing a weak Lurker Hound into the wild. And I didn't know you're so. Now he's gaslighting the shit out of her.
Mm-hmm. He's a dick.
Yeah, she's telling like, well, you were gonna kill her. I had to let her go. And he says, do you think your actions change that outcome? One of our a few rotations ago, one of our shuttles crashed on the mountain. That's not what killed them. Creatures that roam the jungle. Even our strongest Lurker Hounds struggle against what's beyond these walls. So basically he's saying that, you sentenced her to death because you made her vulnerable with your, healing and petting ways. And she's trying to make a stand for her. Like, she deserves this chance. She's like, you don't know she'll die. At least she's got a chance now. And Hemlock tries to call her out, flawed logic and all this. Emotion and sentiment have no place within these walls. And you would do well to remember that.
He's reminding her who the master is.
Yep.
And
Now,
here's
Emery's
a turning point.
yeah. Go ahead.
Like I said, Emery goes, Doctor, perhaps I should return Omega to her room. It's like the older sister, like, hey, I'll like seeing the parent get on to the younger brother or sister saying, hey, here, I'll take him.
I didn't. Well, yeah, get him.
Get him. No,
Get 'em.
you didn't, but well, didn't happen in my house either.
No, I was the oldest. Like, yeah, they deserve what's coming to them. Get the younger ones. But yeah, Emery's trying to, salvage a little bit. And Hemlock's trying to call out Omega, like, you got more to say? And she says, I know you brought me here, so not gonna say cooperate. So you need me, and she won't work for you if you hurt me. I've got the upper hand. Hemlock,
me.
And he's like, okay, yeah. And he goes, yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna hurt you. But your friend in the detention block, so talking about Crosshair, may not be as fortunate. So he's doing the same thing to her that she's being used for.
Yep. It's like, I did have plans for CT-9904, despite his resistance to re-education, is what they call it.
Yeah. This is going to, make some willing to make some changes if it's going to convince you to do what I need to do. And he says, actions always have consequences.
Which is true.
Yep. That's one of the big themes of this episode. Actions always have consequences, and sometimes not in the ways we imagine. So now he's telling her, take her back to the room, restrict her access, put her on lockdown. And she gets led away. Then she take my lunchbox and go home. So she gets her little box and walking away with Emery. Emery's starting to come around a little bit, I think.
I
right
think
here.
so too.
Mm-hmm. And so Omega's locked up in her cell. She's sad. It's dark. And Emery walks in.
Well, and goes back to what I said earlier, kind of too. If you think about it, like the outside represents the hope, the light. She just got caught. There's no hope right now.
Yeah, it's dark.
I'm like, I could be completely off on that.
Or it could be nighttime.
Or it could be nighttime. Or it could be nighttime. She is a teenager.
Yeah, so she's telling Emery to leave. Emery's coming in and check on her. Just leave, just go. And we see Emery set something down. You hear it like rustle around. And Emery walks away.
And when you turn around, it's a brush. It's a broom with a dustpan.
Yeah, get to sweeping. No, she brought her little dolly back.
So Kyle was right. It's a turnaround.
Mm-hmm. Yep, little turning point. And then at that moment, she hears a Lurka hound howling in the distance. So now, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I just counted wrong earlier when I was looking at it. I'm going to have to go back and double check that because that may be a continuity thing.
There's 6 rows of
2, 3, 4. There's 5 rows plus. So you got 5 rows of 1, 2, 3, 6.
6.
Right.
30.
30, 60, 90, 120. No, never mind. 150, 160, 164 days now at this. So maybe I was counting wrong. And she hears the Lurka hound, and
we see Batcher on top of the downed ship.
Mm-hmm. Found her way free, howling at the moon, and then gets eaten. No.
Gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Showing her that she did escape. So there's a lot of things
going on.
I think being foreshadowed here. I really think the whole thing with Omega releasing Batcher and that whole that's her and Crosshair in the future.
Yep. I think you're right.
And she's going to be Batcher and Crosshair is going to be Omega. Go on. You just got to go, and they go on and be free. Unless Omega is the one that dies and she does that so Crosshair can be free.
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I think I know where they're going with this, but
yeah, there's all those different options like we talked about. Like either Omega's going to die or just everybody dies. Maybe that's it. Like nobody even knows what ever happened.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this is just a lost story in the timeline of the saga.
It's like, sorry.
What do you guys think? I want to hear your predictions on it.
Let us know.
Yep. In the Discord. We got a place
In the
for that.
Discord. Yep. So we are ending this episode. We will be recording part 2 here coming up for episode 2.
Mhm.
So stay tuned. So you get a double release this Monday.
Oh, thank God.
Or right now when you're listening.
Yeah, or whenever. Y'all need that
So-
double release.
Double.
So, yeah, it was a good episode, though. I'm
liked
probably
it.
going to binge the rest of them today and get caught up, and then rewatch them again before we record next.
Well, I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna try and if I have time today, watch 4. But softball season started.
It's that time. Yep, you got to go do that thing.
So yeah. With that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle, and wherever you guys are, please have a great morning, nighttime, evening time, whatever time it is, wherever you are, and please be good to each other.
See ya.
Nerd
See ya. Fresh
culture
cheese
rise up.
bags.
It could get elevated. Nerd culture rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made up word.